On the night of February 8th, Luis was killed in his own home by Orange County Sheriff's Office deputies Alex Duran and Paul Ortiz while he was defending himself against a home invader.
Sure.
A close friend of Luis and neighbor called 911 like most people would do in a situation like that. The two deputies, within a matter of seconds, shot and killed Luis's kitchen window. While he was shouting for help. And in a sick, twisted turn of events, the man that broke in is the one being charged with the murder instead of the killer cops who pulled the trigger. Just last month, Orange County Sheriff's Office deputies killed another member of our community, Tyrone Bartley, while conducting an illegitimate and botched SWAT raid for a crime he had nothing to do with. Only 30 seconds passed from the time they kicked in his door with high-powered rifles and military gear to the moment when they shot him 6 times. And what they said, the stories of Tyrone Bartley and Luis Lopez are just 2 examples of police killings that have taken place in the last few months. There's many more that we cannot even mention here. Racist and political repression since the return of the Trump regime are at levels we have not seen in decades. Under Trump's executive order 14288, which seeks to unleash the police, as if they don't already are unleashed, local police agencies are further emboldened to act with impunity and without fear of consequences for their actions. I'm sure you all saw the comments made by the Brevard County Sheriff.
Fuck him! Fuck the police! Fuck the police! Fuck the police!
As well as the police and military repression taking place in cities like Los Angeles, New York, and other cities around the country for standing up and speaking up. We're seeing mass agents snatching our immigrant brothers and sisters and tearing families apart without any respect for due process or human rights. You want to say shame? I want to be crystal clear and emphasize that this kind of police and ICE terror being conducted in our neighborhoods is the same kind of terror used by the Israeli occupation forces against Palestinians in the West Bank, as well as the repression faced against activists in the Philippines by the U.S.-backed Marcos dictatorship. The ruling class wants nothing more than for us to continue to be divided against racial lines, gender lines, etc. For you to say that I'm down with Black Lives Matter, but the immigrants haven't come for them. For you to say, I'm down with immigrant rights, but not Palestinian rights, and so forth. The fact of the matter is that all these struggles are connected, undoubtedly, and a victory for one is a victory for all against our common enemy. As our government continues to escalate towards a full-on war with Iran and its proxy state of Israel, we can expect political repression here to increase significantly, as it did in the McCarthy years and the Red Scare, as it did during the protest movement against the Vietnam War, and as it did during the invasions of Iraq and Afghanistan, things like the Patriot Act. Everyone say shame! In closing, I would briefly like to highlight 2 very important cases of political repression that everyone here should care about. One that is national in scope and one that is more local. First, I encourage you all to pay attention to what's happening to activism Alejandro Orellana.
Immigrants are welcome here, no hate, no fear. 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 Immigrants are welcome here.
Again, I need everyone to know this name, Alejandro Orellana, out in California. He's a member of the Chicano rights organization, Centro CSO, and has been organizing in East LA rights of Chicano movement. A few days ago, his home was raided and he was arrested by the FBI in defending and organizing immigrants during the current uprising out in LA. I encourage everyone to visit @CentroCSO on Instagram and Twitter for more information. They're raising money for his legal fees and so forth. And I'm very proud to announce that just today, he was released and is now free. Alejandro still needs our support and solidarity in getting his charges dropped, just like the next person I'd like to mention, Chris Gibson. Chris Gibson was a student, a UCF student activist with Students for a Democratic Society, and they're out there here today. Chris was brutalized and arrested at this very location just last year for simply using his voice to speak out for Palestine. Everyone say shame. He's facing bogus felony charges and 5 years in prison for doing exactly what we're doing today. I encourage everyone here to come out to a protest at Lake Viola on June 22nd with us in solidarity with Chris Gibson. We cannot allow our activists to spend time in prison for speaking up and using their voice just like we are here today. Because if they can do it to one of us, they can do it to all of us, and they will. Continue to show up to actions just like this. Share information on your social media with your friends and your family. But most importantly, join an organization. Attacks are coming down the pipeline from every direction. And the only way we can truly fight back against these attacks is by growing a steadfast, disciplined, and organized movement comprised of people just like you all here today. His cronies and the billionaires that back them are only a fraction of the people compared to the number of everyday working class people like yourselves who are fed up with this rotten system of war, exploitation, and oppression. By uniting the many, we can and will defeat the few. Solidarity.
Speeches today. If you guys need to join organizations, I encourage you to come speak to all the people you've seen speaking up here. Sign up. We've got people coming around signing sheets. There's a volunteer station over there if you want to sign up for anything at all. We all need to join the community and get active if you can. All right, our next speaker, beautiful, beautiful organizer in the area, Fidel.
My name is Fidel Gomez. Hi everyone, my name is Fidel and I am a trans queer child of immigrants. And I am here to tell you that what's happening in this country is not just policy, it's persecution. Right now, we are holding our breath as the Supreme Court prepares to rule on the Scrimeti case. A case that could decide whether states can ban life-saving, gender-affirming care for our trans youth. Let that sink in. Our bodies, our rights, our futures in the hands of 9 people in robes. This case is not about medicine. It is not about safety. It's about fear. It's about control. It's about erasing trans people, starting with our kids.
Okay, I was texting earlier. I was like, what are you doing?
No court gets to decide our work.
We have a few more speakers.
Our government gets to silence, or no government gets to silence our truth. Whether they uphold the ban
was going to say 4,000 to 5,000, but I can't see all the way down.
They go all the way.
You think it's closer to 6,000? That was my estimate of what was going to show up at 6,000.
If you do nothing, will states pass law after law
Yeah, because
after law.
they're on both sides of Orange Avenue. They're over there. They're in the median.
They're trying to keep
Florida,
here.
we feel like complicit silence every single day. The 2017 agreement that somebody referenced earlier, that our police is being deputized to act as ICE. 100 police officers from this building.
Fuck ICE!
10% of our police force of Orlando City is now being used as ICE. Let that sink in. They are harassing our immigrant siblings, raiding homes, tearing families apart. They come for us, they're coming at every single angle. But guess what? We are still here. We are still ready. We're not going anywhere. Say it with me. If you don't know Spanish, try it anyway. We existir es resistir.
Resistir!
One more time. We existir es resistir.
Resistir!
To the Supreme Court, to lawmakers, to anyone that is watching, no matter how you vote, we will survive you. We will outlive you. And we will never survive. It's not a threat. Their hate is. Thank you. If you want to learn more about how to do this, follow me on Instagram, follow SomosLoud_CFL, and follow Hope Community Center as well. Thank you.
I just had a really great protest on here. You guys ready for this? Let's all Naruto run the gates of the 33rd Street Jail. Y'all know how to Naruto run?
What about the federal courthouse?
Only the millennials and the Zoomers get the joke. Look it up, Google it. Naruto run. There you go, just demonstrate. Come on, let's go. Naruto, there you go, there you go. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna storm the gates and Naruto run. Pass it around. All right. Our next speaker, Amelia Virgo.
Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. Hello everyone, my name is Amelia Burgos. I serve as the Orlando Development Leader for Equality Florida, the statewide LGBTQ civil rights organization. I am a trans woman, a veteran, a mother, a proud Latina, an advocate, an athlete, a nerd, a friend, and just simply a human being. I start all my speeches this way because I think now more than ever, we have to be reminded of our humanity. Because while we all have different journeys, we are united in that humanity. Looking at this crowd today, I see a community defined by strength, passion, resilience. And despite the constant barrage of hate, despite this seemingly never-ending uphill battle, we all continue to climb. Yes, these are challenging times. For many, hope feels distant. But history shows us that even in the darkness, light breaks through. And that light is each and every one of you. standing together, lifting one another up, and rising again and again, no matter the obstacles. I served in the Army for nearly 14 years. In doing so, I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And right now, that enemy is in D.C. That enemy is ICE agents in our streets. That enemy is those who are actively trying to erase entire populations of people that differ from them. Because when I signed up to serve, I did so that we can all be free. So we can all be heard, and so we can all exist as we are. However, I've had to watch my identity be used as a scapegoat for political gain. Watch as millions of Americans and immigrants who shape this country get demonized. And see transphobia and xenophobia emerge from the shadows as some twisted form of patriotism.
We got a problem.
What's the problem?
Okay,
I am rising again, continuing to fight for this country just in a different uniform.
There's nothing we can really do about that. I mean, what do you
Because the
do
true
about
beauty
it?
of America lies in its diversity.
No, but just
It lies in every single person here today. Regardless of where you come from or how you identify. And I will continue to fight to make sure it stays that way. Our voices are our sharpest weapon, our fiercest shield. They fear us not because we're loud, but because we're right. They tremble at our truth because they know it carries the power to burn down the systems they built to keep us quiet. That's why they show up angry. That's why they mock us on social media. That's why they try to shut us down in hearings, in comments, at protests. Because deep down they know we're not asking for change. We're becoming it. But to become that change, we must continue to grow. Grow so large that we can't be ignored. So I call on everyone here to continue to show up. Continue to tell your stories. Continue to rise again and again. Because as long as they're infringing upon our freedoms, tearing our families apart, attempting to erase our identities, we need to be present and we need to be loud. We will not bow. We will stand proudly. We will stand in solidarity. Remember, you can cut all the flowers, but you cannot stop spring from coming. Thank you.
All right, I'm introducing a very special friend of mine who I closing comments. And every time he says the word fascism, I want you guys to clap. It's going to be a lot, I'm sure.
She's right. What are you saying? My name is Corey.
Alright, we'll go over here to the...
And I have to tell you, Orlando, we do not have a second to lose. There are Marines and National Guard on the streets of Los Angeles. Mass ICE agents have been sent to elementary schools to kidnap children. They are targeting people looking for work. They are ripping parents from their children in immigration court proceedings. These racist attacks have nothing to do with public safety and everything to do with the white nationalists, fascists, and a sitting U.S. senator was roughed up and handcuffed for daring to ask questions of the Department of Homeland Security. rights organizations have received letters from the Department of Homeland Security warning them that they are being investigated. Donald Trump has threatened to use military force to crush anyone, including us, who dares dissent against the nationwide attacks on immigrants in direct contravention of the right to public protest enshrined in the motherfucking Constitution. And yet, the people have not been cowed. Angelinos have risen up to stop ICE and to protect democracy and our immigrant neighbors, friends, and family. A multi-generational uprising that defies civilization and mischaracterization by the right wing and much of the media. We see this same courage and resolve hardening in communities throughout the United States, like what is happening right here, right now in Orlando. Everywhere is protest. Everywhere is resistance and community defense. They wanted us to give up. Instead, we are digging in. Now is not the time for us to shrink away from the challenge we face. So let us name it explicitly. The United States is hurtling headlong toward the abyss of fascism. Only a massive pushback right now can stop the awful momentum of our authoritarian opponents. So I ask of you, Orlando, are you ready to fight this with everything you got? This is what democracy looks like. The stakes could not be clearer. In Central Florida, the number of detainees held in local jail for immigration violations so far this year is nearly 400% higher than last year. Behind each and every number is family being ripped apart, like the Juarez family right here in Orlando, who have lived here for over 20 years, and despite doing everything to remain in this country legal, despite having applied for a visa that grants them exemption for having been the victims of violent crime. Both mother and father sit in detention right now, leaving only their daughter to speak for the rest of their family. And their mother has officially disappeared. No one knows where she is. But know this, Orlando. The Juarez family and everyone who is under threat from this administration does not stand alone. Know this, Orlando. The stakes could not be clearer. The state has cracked down on Palestine protesters. They have brutalized people in their homes. They have murdered people like Luis Lopez. Rents are rising. Wages are stagnant. Books are banned. Abortions are illegal. And if you want to protest any of this, well, DeSantis just give the okay to run people like us over. Sheriff said he wants to send us home in body bags. But friends, I stand before you today, even with all of this, all of these forces arrayed against us, with hope still in my heart. Because this massive mobilization here in Orlando is just one of hundreds taking place right now, an outpouring. This is what a fucking revolution looks like. Right now, millions of people across the country are showing that there is nothing that you can throw at us that will stop us from showing up to defend our communities. We stand together in one struggle, one fight, unstoppable people power, linked arm to arm, shoulder to shoulder, unshakable bond of solidarity, and it is beautiful. It is truly one struggle, one fight. In this movement, we fight for trans rights And this month, Pride. I want everyone to remember Pride's origins. Here, we know that no human being is illegal. That being unhoused is not a crime. That abortion rights are human rights. We know that our tax dollars cannot be used to prop up apartheid, occupation, and genocide in Palestine. And in our rapidly expanding uprising, folks, we say it loud. We say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Loud, clear. Immigrants are welcome here. 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 ICE is not welcome here in Orlando. There are some. Right now, we would caution that now is not the time for boldness, but we have to be quiet. We have to be silent. They tell us that we have to mortgage our values and sell out members of our communities in order to keep Trump from tracking down on us. And I say to those who would tell us this foolishness, that the number one rule when facing authoritarianism, do not obey in advance. I want you to look around you. Look at the people here with you right now. Some of whom have been in this fight for decades. Some of whom it's their first time showing up and speaking out. Look at what's happening in all 50 states. People rising up in small towns, in cities, from sea to shining sea. All of us are putting ourselves on the line to protect our neighbors and democracy. So I ask all of you, ask yourself, doesn't this look like the time to sit down and be quiet? No! This right here, this beautiful defiance that is coursing through each and every one of you in this crowd, this is why I know that we will win. I know it sure as hell ain't gonna be easy, don't get me wrong. We're being asked to do things most of us have never been asked to do, to make sacrifices beyond what many of us have ever had to consider. But I promise you, if we take this energy, if we harness what is happening right here, right now, into a disciplined, strategic mass movement, there is no force on earth more powerful. Orlando, we don't have a second to lose. So I ask you now, all of us together one last time, are you ready to fight for a world where empathy and kindness and dignity? Are you ready to fight for your neighbors, for your friends, for your family? Orlando, we do not have a second to lose, so I ask you, are you ready to fight for each other with every last fiber of your being? Get to fucking work! Thank you, Orlando. USA! now to help oppose local coordination with ICE. So we're going to give you a phone number. Text this number, you're getting a QR code, we're getting linked up and send a message to our local lawmakers to tell them right now that you don't want them cooperating with ICE. So everyone take this number down. Are you ready?
We'll sound off again.
Everyone sound off. 407. 487. 9225. Say QR in the text and we'll get you hooked up and we'll get you moving, people. Say QR into the text. Say it with me. QR. All right, one more time for the number. 407. 487. 92.
Hi, Lori.
9225. And type QR for them. All right, Orlando, that concludes our program speaks for today. Thank you all for coming. If you want to get connected to the struggle for our communities against ICE and against this fascist regime, please hook up with Orlando 5051. Hook up with all the amazing community organizations. This was not a singular effort. There are dozens of groups that help pull this off. None of us struggle alone, but if we fight together, I am confident that we will win. Thank you, Orlando.
Oh yeah, this has been real safe, no problems at all. It's estimated that there's 5,000 people here. Could be less, could be more, but it's right around that number. I'm in the middle of the biggest part of the crowd. You got people lining the streets on all four sides, plus in the median strip, which is where those two flags are. Yeah, definitely a lot of people. I covered another rally this morning, and there are a couple thousand people up in Apopka, which is a small suburb of Orlando.
No fucking king! God, no master, and no fucking king!
I'll be doing a lot more